Hello, and welcome back to the EU Salt Mine. I am your host, Brian. It's day 4 for our EU League. We have had some good salt production already in this mine and hope for lots more. Let me first say thank you to our sponsor, Manscaped. They contributed half the prize pool, the other half was given very generously and very anonymously. Alpha joins in with the operations in the mine today, having qualified with 3 wins in a row on his way in. He also has a good historical 1v1 win rate. It is eekso's second series, he lost his first series in 5 games. Today we discover just how destined he is to always go to 5 games in any 1v1 series. So, let's hand this over to Johnny.
EU Salt Mine debut for Alpha54. eekso making a return after getting reverse swept by Khalid. So go breakout Alpha. Did not play this car in qualifying if I remember correctly. It was all Octane hitbox for him. eekso in the old faithful Octane, of course. Car that he always plays with. This is a matchup that we have seen in the past, although it was quite a while ago. It was a matchup where eekso had the edge. Alpha was a much newer and less experienced player back then. See if he can change his fortunes today. Just off target with the rebound. The flick to set it up was a tough one for eekso to stop. Now eekso on the counter down the line, trying to keep up ball pressure. That's a really good use of the right joystick to keep an eye on Alpha there. Opting not to dodge as he attacks on the counter. Alpha with the good placement, but eekso, with hardly any boost, gets a save. Look at what he's able to save up though. Alpha might be surprised by eekso's speed here. eekso's shot left a lot to be desired. We're still scoreless in game 1. Now, although eekso did get reverse swept by Khalid, I'm going to say it again, this is still a decent result for him because he's picked up a couple of game wins. If he does end up in a tiebreaker situation, that's going to help him out. Nice recovery by eekso. He's prevented Alpha from scoring again, but he's going to struggle here. Alpha gets a clean demo, and now has a somewhat free opportunity. No, eekso gets in the way of that one as well. Incredible defense by the Englishman. Alpha54 coming at him again, but eekso really improving his defense significantly in the past year. He's not the crumbling mess that he used to be at that end of the field. He's still got every bit of his offensive power. Alpha54, more known for his defensive capabilities. Going to try and pressure eekso into making a mistake here. And that might be it. Alpha54 hides behind the ball, pretends to go for a challenge, and just lets eekso hit it right at him. Look at that from Alpha. He reversed all the way back so he could take a run up at the shot as well. Very sneaky. And that is the kind of goal you expect to see from him. Counter-attack master, and also master not overextending. There's a few players in the tournament like him, but he's also got some pretty insane tricks up his sleeve as well. Flip reset for 2-0. Alpha54 so far having a great first game in the EU Salt Mine League play. eekso has been uncharacteristically quiet so far. He hasn't had too many opportunities to control the ball. Alpha hasn't given it to him hardly at all. And look at this from Alpha. Another flip reset. This one must have caught eekso at least a little by surprise, but eekso somehow still got in the way of it. As Alpha now for the long range stealing shot, looking for a double touch off the floor. There it is. 3-0. Alpha just reaches out for it and makes contact. Such a quick counter down the middle. eekso was making a beeline for the boost steal in the corner. He didn't realize Alpha was already attacking. And now his woes continue. He's lost 3 games in a row to Khalid. Now losing his first game against Alpha. And this just shows you the kind of quality that there is in the EU Salt Mine this year. It could be a fantastic player like eekso who ends up at the bottom of the table or in one of the bottom spots. He's going to get his first goal here. Alpha spawning too late. And he does what Alpha couldn't earlier on in the game, getting the goal quickly after securing the demo in the opposition half. Still lots of time for eekso. Alpha has been controlling the ball masterfully thus far. Pre-flip to send it wide once again. Not the most powerful first touch, but that's going to allow him to think about flying after it. eekso gets it away from danger. What's it going to be? eekso with a quick flick. You saw Alpha turning. That is surprising to see Alpha turning around in plain sight, because that's not something he's used to doing. He was obviously trying to surprise eekso with the challenge, but eekso saw it coming. He could see quite clearly underneath the ball, so there wasn't any difficulty for him. Alpha setting up another flip reset maybe. Just going to make it a slow air dribble into dunk, but that's saved by eekso as well. eekso going to try and do the same thing in the counter into double touch, but Alpha saves it. And now we're just doing laps of the field. eekso knows not to go for the side boost. Alpha was going to go for the demo on him, but he still gets demoed in the back corner. And Alpha will put this one in with plenty of time to spare. eekso let his guard down just briefly. Perhaps he thought that jump and dodge into the ball would keep him away from the demo. He didn't jump high enough. Alpha just came steaming right through him. Yeah, Alpha might be picking up a free goal here. eekso greeting for boost. No, he's made it back somehow. And he does have a small boost advantage here, although Alpha will level that one out in the back corner. Inside the final minute. eekso hasn't had too many chances this game. Alpha's played brilliantly. He's controlled the ball well, and he's had just enough flair to keep eekso guessing. Not playing a completely defensive game. He's aggressing the ball at times. He's taking risks at times. All these things add up to a more defensive eekso than he'd perhaps like to be. Another air dribble for Alpha. That's beautiful. He's put this one right over eekso's head. eekso expecting it to go down the middle and high, but it's lower and to the left, and that surely should be game one in the bag for Alpha. Every game means so much in this format. Of course, series means more. Alpha getting a lot of kickoff wins. Something that many longer car players struggle to do against Octanes, but not Alpha. He's dominant today, and that's an open-end miss for eekso. He tried to jump over the top of Alpha to get that one, but it just wasn't going to happen. Now his dodge timed out, and he's given Alpha his 7th goal. He was, of course, trying something quite extravagant here. It doesn't pan out as he was hoping. Alpha with a really comfortable win in the end. But sometimes these games do stretch out in favor of the player who's already in the lead. If the player behind tries to go for a comeback, has to be taking risks. But there it is, Alpha54 1-0 over eekso.
That looked like a comfortable win for Alpha as he takes the lead. His goalkeeping making a huge impact on the scoreline. eekso has to find a different way to play if he wants to get out of a constant defense, especially if he's to reach Game 5.
Quite a ridiculous Game 1 for eekso, despite the fact that he did lose 7-2. He got 13 saves amidst all that. Some of them were brilliant. Another one, right as we're talking about it. Wave dash and the counter-attack looking good. And that's a lot better for eekso. So doing already what he struggled to do for most of Game 1. And that is turn Alpha's failed attacks into goals in the orange net. Now, if eekso can keep doing that, Alpha won't be able to set up shop that far up the field. He'll have to play a bit more defensively. And that'll give eekso the space that he needs to play his game. He's playing his game pretty well right now. There's the ceiling shot for 2-0. The early interception caught Alpha off guard. It looks like Alpha slowed down ever so slightly as he was coming up the wall there. Didn't think eekso was going to turn for this one. And not only did eekso turn, but he took his time with it as well. He aimed that ball well. Made sure to give himself a way to catch up with it again. Still falling over as he attempts clean landing. He was sitting pretty far back there, so I'm not sure if Alpha's pinch shot would have worked. Oh, that's a much better one by eekso. They're just trading pinches now. Alpha setting up the challenge, and eekso is glad to accept it. Oh, look at this save by Alpha on the goal line. Unbelievable stuff. Just scooping it out from more than halfway in. But the trick that he tried in Game 1 did not work this time. You saw it there again. He just rolled the ball at eekso and then backed off, hoping that eekso will panic and hit it into him. That's how eekso went 1-0 down in the first match. But now he is starting to figure Alpha out a little bit, and it didn't work out. And there's a brilliant bump. eekso up 3-0. And when the first pop went this high, He didn't want to hit it again. He just wanted to deny Alpha the save. Already a completely different game to the one we saw before. Alpha's going to try and close the gap here with some strong kickoffs. Oh, he gets pretty fortunate here. I'm not going to lie. That's unbelievable for Alpha. I think I would call that a failed flick. And then somehow dunked on eekso at the end of his dodge. And it's gone top corner as well. So maybe a bit fortunate there. And maybe a bit fortunate here. No, saved by eekso on the kickoff goal attempt. Alpha's still got a lot of boost. Half flip not the cleanest. That's going to cause him to have to score past eekso. That is something he won't do here. eekso recovers well, and look at that wave dash to set up the shot. Alpha did not think that eekso would be attacking here, but that is exactly what's happening. Just sliding into position and knocking the ball as hard as he could on target. 4-1. Inside of the post, being very friendly to eekso there after Alpha got a bit fortunate on the previous play. He was certainly owed something in the way of good fortune. 3-goal gap. Alpha struggling for boost at the moment. eekso starting to bully him a little bit. Trying to control the ball as well as Alpha did in the first game. It's going to be difficult. Really, the thing that eekso's done much better in this second game compared to game 1 is the reading of Alpha's movement. He's seeing what Alpha's trying to do earlier, and that's helping him counter it. Helping him stay away from the potential threats that Alpha is bringing. And look at this from eekso again, just perfect positioning. And he's up 5-1 inside the first half of the game. It's going to look like Alpha had the perfect game plan. It's all beginning to unravel. eekso has to stay solid here. Most important thing of all is that he doesn't let his kickoff drop off in value, but it's not doing too badly here. Where on earth was Alpha? He took so long to get back into position. Oh, he's missed the boost because eekso tripped him up on his run into the corner. So a bit unlucky there. But now eekso's ahead by 5 goals. Half the game to go. And eekso's in control of the next play as well. Slow motion air dribble. He doesn't slow it down enough to keep it away from Alpha though. Now Alpha on the counter attack down the middle. Puts in his second goal of the game. eekso doing a bit too much here. Landing ahead of the ball by that margin. Never a good idea. That's the kind of thing he has to be careful of, because he's been prone in the past to throwing away the occasional game just by being too tricky and by trying to play too fancy well ahead. Of course, that's why he's such a popular player, and that's why people love to watch him play 1v1, because he's willing to take those risks and he's willing to make big plays even when he's already ahead by several goals. But there it is again, just as we're talking about it. eekso gets caught out of position after trying to go for a demo near the wall. Of course, any bump near a wall is usually less effective than an open field. The player's just going to land on that solid surface and get right back into action. Boost steal for eekso. Trying to deny even the small pads here, not just the big ones, but he's missed the big one, and that's allowed Alpha to grab it. eekso playing a bit of a safer line of attack here, and he's rewarded for it. Taking his time, not rushing the shot, because if he did take that ceiling shot, there's a really good chance Alpha was saving it. It was a tough angle, it was quite far out, and it would have given Alpha time to react to it as well. So I like that eekso slowed himself down just for a moment there and waited for the follow-up opportunity. This rushing has definitely got him in more trouble towards the end of this game than it's helped him. And rushing has actually got him in trouble here. Early shot hasn't worked out. Really no distance on that one at all. Now Alpha back within 3 again. Certainly a winnable game for him, especially if he can get a couple of good kickoffs going. Might be trying to turn early here. eekso sees it coming. Alpha was being sneaky. Wanted the open net. eekso staying on the ball wisely. Both players need ball pressure here. Can't just give it away for free. eekso has done so. Alpha fails his flick though, and eekso can recollect the possession in the back corner inside the final minute now. eekso in front, but not by too much. Alpha certainly has comeback potential. When it comes down to it, he can up the ante. He could take those necessary risks, really put eekso under some pressure. But first he needs a goal to get that clean reset in the middle of the field. I don't know if it's coming from here. High flick from Alpha. Flicks have been fast, but not the most accurate today for him. Occasionally, he's had a perfect play. Not this game, not enough at least. Wave dash and a bottom left corner shot from Alpha, and this is the kind of thing we're talking about. When it comes down to it, when he needs goals, he is more than willing to make the necessary plays. Flip reset, wave dash, and a side flip, combining for a beautiful finish. 23 seconds left. Alpha needs a good kickoff here. He's not going to get the best one because eekso is all over him. He's got the ball in his back corner. It's a difficult place for Alpha to score from. eekso well aware of his plans, but oh, he doesn't execute well. Not the best 50-50, and Alpha is back within one here. So eekso stayed away from the demo, but he decides to make the in and out save instead of just turning around and going straight for the ball. I don't know if it was necessary to take that line from eekso. And now he might have to defend a 0-second play from a player who has more boost than him. Oh no, he doesn't, because he's coming in with 0 boost, looking for a goal of his own, and he slow rolls it. Alpha concedes on 0 seconds. And that is heartbreaking for him. He thought when he had 100 boosts and eekso had none that he'd have a chance, but eekso's ran rings around him here, despite the fact that he was boost starved. And now the series is all equal.
Thank you Manscaped for sponsoring the EU Salt Mine. There's an offer code for you, Tourney20, which is a 20% discount for Manscaped purchases. A closer game 2 leaves the players tied. Who will take the lead next?
So eekso just told me something between this game and the last one. He started off by saying, wait a minute, I thought I lost that one. He was under the impression that he was more than a goal down at the end of the game, and he was playing for nothing, just for fun at the end. And then he realized, wait a minute, I've got more goals than Alpha. I won that game, and not only that, he asked me afterwards, so now is the series score 1-2. I'm saying to him, no, it's 1-1, mate. You're still in this. So eekso maybe a bit out of it mentally, but he's well in the series mathematically. We're all even. And now he's on the ball, so small advantage for eekso. Let's see if he can figure out which goal to put it in. There we go. That's the right way. Fortunately, there's a Frenchman in the way. Alpha with low boost, getting the bounce dribble going, catches it, and now another beautiful side flip shot. These are placed so well for Alpha. Looking like OG Cuxer with the placement, just sneaking around behind the ball and drilling it into the bottom corner as soon as the opening is there and close enough. The key for eekso in this game, it's just like in the last one, try to read Alpha as best as he can, because when he is reading him, he seems to have the edge. This is just unreal. Whenever eekso gets the ball, he's got all the plays in the world. It's really incredible stuff, just getting behind the ball to dish it in behind Alpha. Certainly not what Alpha was expecting there. But that's exactly what I mean. If eekso can get 50-50 possession in this matchup, I think he has the edge. It looks like he's got more threats at his disposal. He's got, today at least, slightly quicker plays, quick thinking. But Alpha, just like game 1, trying to dominate the possession, trying to deny eekso the ball control. He needs to win the game. So eekso not the best at winning games without ball control, but my goodness, he's pretty good when he gets it. That's another brilliant goal by eekso. Perfect placement. Alpha was covering about 90% of the goal there, but eekso found the 10% that ended up in the back of the net. Strong kickoffs by both players, interchanging, and Alpha gets a much easier goal at the near post, and no less effective, back in the lead by 1. And if eekso can get a couple of more wins here before losing another game, he'll be positive in win-loss in the league. That's where he wants to be. Big bump by eekso. He's really committed hard for that one. Alpha tried to stay low on him. He's expected eekso to jump over him. Credit to eekso. He managed to dodge into Alpha without jumping over the very low-profile breakout hitbox, which is sometimes a thing you need to worry about when you're going for a bump onto one of those lower cars. eekso has some space, and Alpha is just giving him the bottom left corner. Like I said earlier, whenever eekso gets the ball, the stuff that he can do, it's really insane. Alpha can't afford to be giving away free goals, because you can almost guarantee he's going to be conceding other goals in this matchup that are almost unstoppable, almost impossible to defend against. That one was relatively easy to defend if he decided to drive into the goal. Now here comes Alpha. Top corner air dribble saved by eekso. He's doing a great job reading what Alpha's plans are. Early pop shots on target. eekso moves in for the boost steal after shoving Alpha into his own corner. Alpha doesn't have a lot of boost here, and eekso not falling for those tricks that he fell for earlier. He knows that Alpha is likely to just leave that ball, and that's unreal reaction time as well. eekso just popping it over his own goal to stay one goal ahead. To think that eekso is currently 0-1 in the standings just shows you how well Khaled is playing. He's now top of the league, 2-0. Alpha, pin shot, looks pretty high. He would have been on target if it was a bit lower. And just like earlier, eekso's going to retaliate with one of his own. You're kidding me. That's also close to going in. It looked like he might have been hitting the bar after hitting the ceiling and the floor. But eekso's already across the field for the demo, and he's got the ball again. One of the most eekso games we've ever seen. There's no doubt about that. If you want to give someone a quick illustration of what to expect when eekso's on the field, just show them this game and they'll have a good idea. Someone who can score from any position at any time. But still, very close series this one. Alpha has prevented eekso from building a big lead. All it needs is one goal. He'll be right back in this one. Just 22 boost for eekso on the back wall. Alpha turns around at midfield. Or no, he doesn't, because the boost wasn't there. Now he does turn all the way in the back. Thinking about the flip reset. There it is. But he's missed the ball and also missed the bump. And eekso is going to run in a completely free goal. 5-3. Alpha letting himself down there. It's interesting that he's gone for such a high-risk play this early in the game. There's still a long time left, and it was only a one-goal gap. Usually, like I said before, Alpha will wait till later before upping the difficulty. eekso trying to be as sneaky as possible here. He's trying to embarrass Alpha in these positions, but that's just a good win condition for eekso. If he can get inside Alpha's head, then that is one way to get him tilted. Look at eekso not flipping into the ball. He knows Alpha is just hiding behind it with no intention of dodging into it, so he's doing the same. He needs to be careful because Alpha's goalkeeping is still some of the best in the world. And there is a counter-attack down the left-hand side that eekso can't defend. Now, if eekso's going to continue landing inside Alpha's net when he misses shots, that kind of goal is going to happen over and over again. Alpha's counter-attacks, like I said before, are one of his main sources of goals. High aerial shot for Alpha. eekso saves it and comes away with the ball. No boost, but he does still have a bit of pressure here. He's going to stay on it, grabs the boost in the back corner, and takes Alpha out of the game before he can score at the other end of the field, approaching the final 30 seconds. I wonder if eekso realizes he's currently winning, or is he playing from behind in his own mind here? Is he going to go for something crazy, thinking he's losing this game? You never know, especially today. Well, he is going to go for another goal, and he's going to get it. Because Alpha's defense crumbled. It wasn't the easiest set of plays to defend, but that touch there from Alpha is really not very helpful for him. Did he think eekso was coming in for the rebound? Possibly. Is it a sort of thing that eekso would do? Definitely. When you think about it from Alpha's POV there, you understand why the panic can happen. You're against eekso. Anything could be an attack that he's going for, and that is going to be a game that eekso's winning again. I'll be sure to inform him after this one that he is in fact 2-1 ahead in the series, because no doubt he's already forgotten what the series score is. But he's playing well. 2 game wins in a row for eekso. Alpha needs 2 in a row now if he's going to win this one.
We are swapping the lead, and it's eekso who finds himself on match point. The pressure is now on Alpha to extend the series further, while eekso reaches to close it out in 4. Also, thanks calculated.gg for all the work on the stats.
2-1 for eekso. Alpha has to mix something up now, because what he's done in the last 2 games is not thrown eekso off enough to get him out of the zone. And when you're playing against an eekso who's in the zone, you usually lose. It doesn't matter who you are. He's just got that X factor. He can beat anybody if he's playing his game the way he wants to play it. Game 1, Alpha didn't let him play Rocket League. He didn't give eekso the ball for much of the match, and that's what he has to try and do in this game. He doesn't play a bit more aggressively, eekso's going to run away with it. 3-1. Already, Alpha trying to posture further up the field. One thing, eekso's flicks so far haven't been incredible. Some of them have been effective, but we're not seeing any of those boomer flicks that we've seen in the past. Alpha's defense looking pretty solid here. Nothing too scary for him to deal with. Just like eekso, he's flicking the ball relatively ineffectively, especially for players at their standard. You want to see that ball rocketing into the goal. That's much better for eekso. Alpha didn't want to let him get any closer. He was starting to feel the pressure, decided it was time to put a challenge in. But was it the right angle to be putting a challenge in from? How much of the goal was Alpha really covering from there? Would have liked to see him get more in front of the goal, a bit further forward before dodging, but that's better now. Alpha rights the wrong with the kickoff, and we're tied up again just over a minute into game 4. eekso trying desperately to stay focused, trying to remember what 1-1 means. If nothing else, at least he's able to focus on the gameplay, even if the score has confused him a few times today. Alpha bringing the ball back into the corner, getting high up on the wall to avoid the demo. Now trying to catch eekso challenging early in the midfield, but that's not happening. eekso is playing a very patient game in defense. He's noticed early on this match that Alpha's trying to force him to dive in, and he's just refusing to do so, playing extremely reactively. Not usually what we're used to seeing from eekso, but against a player like Alpha, it can be effective. eekso completely out of boost, Alpha likewise. Both players trying to reposition, but Alpha gets to the ball first. He doesn't have any boost left here, but he does have the bump. Rather, he didn't have any dodge left there, is what I meant to say. But he's still had the accuracy to fly right into eekso, and he's got the 1-goal lead. Alpha looking to send us into game 5. Could be a second game 5 for eekso in 2 series. And if you remember back to Manfield Night 5K last year, eekso was the game 5 man. Most of them he won, and not all of them. For some reason, he tends to find himself in 5-game best of 5s pretty regularly. Tied up again. eekso starting pretty quick here. That is a huge flick. That's what we were talking about earlier. We expect to see that in eekso matchups, and now we have 3-2. And the advantage is clear as day. When you flick the ball that hard, it bounces all the way off the back wall, and that makes it harder for Alpha to chase after it and get a block on the follow-up shot. Alpha looking for another tie game. No immediate kickoff shot. Also eekso staying calm on the goal line. But for how long? Alpha spirals into the air dribble and puts it in off the far post. eekso didn't have a lot of boost here. Thought Alpha might be heading to the near post. Alpha's gone for the gap at the far end. All level again. Kickoffs really have been back and forth this game. Both players getting pretty strong wins. Since it's changing hands, it doesn't really cause too much problems. That's a great save by Alpha. eekso did a good job to control that one in some weird bumping position that he was in. And Alpha's recovered. He caught him out of position. He didn't think perhaps that Alpha would be there already. Alpha52 boost does not catch eekso off guard. And he also fails to get him with the bump, but best way to go for the bump in ones, make sure you're recovering if you miss it, and that's what Alpha's done here. Pinches it off his own post to clear it. Hasn't gone too far though. eekso collects it at the far post, and Alpha's spawned right in front of him. That's going to keep the game level for now. Alpha has a momentary open net, but eekso's got all the boost. He comes back and sends Alpha flying into the corner. A long time gone by here. No goals. Who's it going to be? Alpha saves a point-blank range shot from eekso. It wasn't the most accurately placed, but it certainly had a lot of power. Alpha now thinking about what to do next. He still has his dodge here. No need to wave dash with it, he thinks. Just to jump back into the air. eekso finds goal side, plows through the ball solidly. Now, down the left-hand flank. He's trying to slow this one down and bumps Alpha on the goal line. eekso getting revenge for Alpha's air dribble bump earlier. Just pops it vertically and then stayed right in front of it. You don't need to go into the top shelf with these air dribble bumps. You can just go low. eekso knows that just as well as anyone. Pre-flip save. Great read by eekso. He is fully in control here, looking for 3 game wins in a row. That'll get him right back in contention for the middle of the table after losing to O'Callaghan in his debut match. But Alpha has caught him out of position here. Oh, or has he? eekso gets bumped into the goal and makes a save. That's very fortunate for him, but he's not out of trouble yet. Alpha still attacking and will score. Now that was quite ridiculous. eekso got caught completely off his goal line, but Alpha in the follow through from the shot bumped him, and eekso somehow overtook the ball and landed right in front of it. Incredibly fortunate, and honestly quite unfortunate for Alpha, who had a good play. But the game played out as expected. Alpha did get the goal, and now eekso's got to get the lead once again. Here he comes for it. Side flip flick into the bar. Alpha pops it and recovers well. And that is a high counter-attack shot, end-to-end stuff. eekso not with a lot of boost here, actually none. And Alpha will be trying to pick up a goal on 0 seconds just to send us into game 5 here. He's got it behind eekso, but eekso recovers, gets it safely to the corner. Overtime game 4. One more goal for eekso to win the series. One more goal for Alpha to force it into one more game. Alpha's got the first play, and it's going to be a tough one for eekso to stop. He didn't have the boost, and Alpha did have the top corner. Only 12 seconds passed by, and overtime has ended. eekso decided it was time to strike, but Alpha has sent us to game 5.
Well, we are going to game 5 once again. More importantly, eekso is going to game 5 once again. Is it a blessing or a curse for him? It's a blessing for me, as I do prefer more drawn-out series. So let's watch this final game.
Another eekso game 5. Alpha, currently the player with the momentum on his side though. He got that clutch game win in overtime to get us here. But he hasn't carried that on into game 5 so far, because he's just missed the ball on a rebound, not just missed the goal. And eekso, with a boost advantage, turns around immediately and takes a 1-goal lead. He's even tried to stop the ball on the goal line there, knowing that Alpha would have been quite a while to get back. Alpha just needs to stay steady here. He had a good answer to eekso in game 4. Managed to shut eekso's offense down enough to pick up goals at the other end, and here's another example of that. Alpha just seeing the opening and then committing. Realized that eekso was trying to play patiently. He wanted to control the ball on the goal line instead of dodging into it, maybe giving away possession. But that's just greedy by eekso. He has to get rid of the danger there. There's no place to be catching the ball. Now eekso's past the ball center. Alpha's shot is too slow. And eekso recovers brilliantly. He's stolen the boost in his own corner, and now Alpha's down 2-1. Alpha thought he was getting a boost steal here, but eekso just snuck in there over his head. Very nicely done by him. It's certainly looking like eekso's series to lose for the most part, because after game 1, a game which I think was a learning match for eekso, a game where he figured out what Alpha's plan for the day was. Since then, eekso has had the upper hand, winning 2 games and then only losing the 3rd one in overtime. But Alpha's got the ability to take down anybody in a game 5. Everybody in this tournament does. They've all shown us in the past they're capable of it. eekso needs to be playing his A game start to finish here. Trying to keep up ball pressure with 0 boost. Light pop into position. That didn't really interfere with Alpha's setup at all. Here he comes down the middle. Another bump attempt, another demo secured. Both these players have had such success with air dribble bumps, demo plays. I'm not surprised to still see them happening all the way into Game 5 of a series. Just like that, the advantage changed hands again. Now Alpha ties up the game, and he's on the ball. eekso gets it away from him pretty early. The shot doesn't go on target. Alpha securing both back corner boosts and possession. No flip reset though, so eekso can just challenge early, and he's caught Alpha out of position with a demo as well. Tries a wave dash shot early on. Alpha spawning in the nick of time. It would have been difficult for eekso to build up enough power to score there, and Alpha doesn't have such a problem. He has just scored because eekso takes the most scenic route you've ever seen into a challenge, driving all the way up into ceiling height and then back down to the floor, perhaps in the hunt for the demo. We're not really sure, but we are sure of is Alpha's in front now, and all of a sudden eekso is looking at 2 Game 5 losses back to back. He needs to try and steady himself here. Better flick, but also a great save from Alpha. eekso turns early. He's given away mid boost just so he could have the ball here. Probably a good decision at the end of the day, because Alpha wanted him to go for the boost. Alpha was coming forward here thinking eekso would back off, look for more of the yellow stuff, and then maybe come in for the ball. eekso always trying to get ball control. That is his main objective, it would seem. If he can control the ball, he'll go for it. Doesn't matter how much boost he has. He's got a piece of Alpha on that flick, or else Alpha, I think, would have been recovering for the goal. eekso's in a lot of trouble here, though. He's somehow saved this one into his own post. Alpha back in his own half, still with a boost advantage. Not the best takeoff. eekso easily challenges him. Such an evenly matched series, going all the way into Game 5, and in Game 5 the players are still inseparable. Alpha looking for mind games, almost worked. Looking for the bump, doesn't work. That's one of the first ones that hasn't given him a goal. eekso, really an important save there. Alpha's doing his best to deny the counter attack, and actually gets a great 50-50 here, and follows up with a power shot. Caught eekso off his goal line. Alpha challenged with no boost there, but he had to. If he gave eekso the entire pitch to dribble with 100 boost, he's probably conceding. So just throwing himself in for the challenge was the only thing that made sense. And eekso looks like he wanted the ball back. He thought that should have been his. And instead of just continuing to play as he normally would, he got caught way out of position. Now, we've seen that from him in the past. If he misses a goal, he starts to push the boundaries more and more, taking bigger and bigger risks to try and get the goal that he feels like he deserves. eekso has to remember he's only 1 goal down now. It's about to be 2 though, because like I said before, eekso, when he's in these positions, when he feels hard done by, when he thinks, oh, I'm a bit unlucky there, just conceded because of a 50-50, I really should be ahead here, or should at least have the ball, the risks are starting to come in. Alpha's going to punish those all day. Final minute approaching. eekso down by 2. That's a heavy touch. You see that he's rushing himself now, and Alpha once again with the easy punish. And eekso may have just thrown this one away. He had still so long to try and figure out how to come back in this game. He had only a 1 goal deficit after 50-50 went in Alpha's favor. He tried a bit too much on those last 2 offensive plays to force the issue, and ended up conceding twice. Still a winnable game though for eekso. Only 2 goals in at 50 seconds left. Alpha gonna try and waste some time, surely. eekso comes away with the ball. There'll be no time wasting for Alpha here. Flip reset attempted. It's gone underneath Alpha. I don't know if eekso landed the flip reset here. Alpha certainly thought that he did, because he came lunging forward to try and stop him. But eekso's just caught the ball on the ground. And although Alpha made contact, it's still flew on target. 1 goal in it. And a long 43 seconds for Alpha to try and keep it level. And he's not going to do so. He's just double jumped on the kickoff. And that's 6-0. Ronicky 6. Oh no. Alpha with the Ronicky impression. He's just double jumped on the kickoff. And suddenly, from 3 goals down, eekso has tied the game. Well, that is going to take away any thoughts that eekso had about being hard done by, about losing a game because of a 50-50, because his opponent has just double jumped. But oh dear, eekso's been caught mid-air, and that's a goal to put Alpha1 in front from a position that you really don't expect one. eekso just got launched. Oh my goodness, what happened to him? Alpha just poked him and he went flying into the ceiling. It's 30 seconds left. eekso is going to be so tilted after that one, but he's only 1 goal down, and he's got a good kickoff, it would seem, for the end of the game. Many of these, if not all of them, have gone his way. Here he comes again, straight at Alpha. Alpha doesn't want to give him space. eekso's going to try and take it for himself, turning on everything here, as we expect from him. It's wide open for eekso, surely, and there it is, 7-all. He's done it again. Alpha tried to wave dash after a 180 spin, but it took too long. eekso popped it to himself off the post. Now, can he avoid getting sent to the moon in the last 10 seconds? It might be eekso's game, actually, to try and snatch, but no, Alpha gets the ball clear now. This is dangerous for eekso. Alpha's going to go all in here for the air dribble bump. Surely, there it is, and he wins with the same play that's been working for him all day. On 0 seconds, one of the most scripted games I've ever seen comes to an end in favor of Alpha54.
Game 5 ends, and Alpha takes his first win in the mine, which gives him a good start to the league. eekso's destiny continues to serve him up with Game 5 losses for now. That makes 2 in a row. Must be frustrating. But there are worse ways to lose. Alpha enters the winner's half of the league, and earns his first $100 with today's win. For anyone not as mathematically gifted as I am, that is a 100% win rate. eekso suffers his second defeat, which is a set of results that surprises me and might surprise you considering his 1v1 history. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring the EU Salt Mine. There's an offer code for Manscaped purchases, TOURNEY20, which will give you a 20% discount. Tomorrow we have 2 fresh players entering the mine to play their first games. Flakes and OSM join the sister tournament to one they faced each other in last year. Thanks for watching today's series. This is the EU Salt Mine. I am your host and friend, Brian.